While the Marvel Universe is filled with several legendary relationships, Storm and Black Panther certainly take the prize for having one roller coaster of a romance. While their love story was mesmerizing, their connection turned sour over the years, and fans were quite disheartened when they went their separate ways. However, their relationship was all kinds of goals while they stuck by each other's side, and today we'll be exploring their dynamic relationship in great detail. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. How did Ororo meet T'Challa? While T'Challa rules over Wakanda and Ororo Monroe, or Storm, rules the X-Men universe with her mutant powers, it's revealed that they knew each other as children. They may seem like they come from different backgrounds, but the 1972 Marvel Team-Up comics reveal that their paths crossed at a young age. In this story titled Cry for Vengeance, we witness Storm wandering around the streets of Cairo, Egypt, as she fended for herself in the wake of her parents' death. Around the age of 12, Storm decided to leave Cairo after having multiple strange visions, and she soon embarked on a journey across Africa. During this time, she came across T'Challa, who was also on an adventure of his own. However, it was not like they fell in love at first sight or anything, and their first encounter was far from a meet-cute. In fact, Storm's first interaction with T'Challa was when he was fighting off a mercenary named Andreas de Ruyter. Ruyter was trying to abduct T'Challa and turn him into a puppet for his foreign relations interests, but Storm disrupted his plan and saved the Prince of Wakanda from Ruyter's gang. After defeating these mercenaries, Storm and T'Challa realized they're a good team and that they should stick by each other's side. As they got to know each other, they realized they had insane chemistry, and their journeys were documented in the Storm miniseries created by Eric Jeremy Dickey and David Yarden in 2006. As time passed, T'Challa started feeling the pressure of his royal duties, and he redirected his attention towards finding the man who killed his father. While he had initially decided to travel with Storm, his obsession with avenging his father's death left Storm with no option but to leave him. While T'Challa eventually assumed his role as the King of Wakanda, Storm carved out quite a decent life for herself, and even gained a reputation as a goddess due to her energy manipulation abilities. She was considered someone who held the reins to weather conditions in her grip, and she eventually became one of the most important members of the X-Men. While they excelled in their careers, Storm and T'Challa could not get each other off their minds, and some feelings lingered as they wondered what could have become of them if they had stayed by each other's side. Struggling to move on, they finally admitted their true feelings after fate brought them together once more to defeat Ruyter. While a lot of time had passed and they had entered adulthood, they shared the same chemistry even though they believed it was now too late to act on their feelings. While they did not bring their romance to fruition, T'Challa's mom, Queen Ramonda, stepped in to play Cupid. As revealed in Black Panther comics in 2005, Ramonda sent T'Challa on a mission to find a partner, hoping he would find Storm and ask her to be his wife. However, this proved to be much more difficult than expected, as Storm refused to be with T'Challa properly after he had pushed her away to fulfill his duties as a prince. Over time, Storm's resentment waned as T'Challa got down on one knee and proposed to her, but she still held out on her answer for a while, and this particular comic issue came to an end. Later, the next issue revealed that Storm did accept his proposal, and things went downhill from this point. The tragic married life of Ororo and T'Challa. T'Challa's proposal was documented in the Black Panther Bride of the Panther storyline by Reginald Hudlin and Scott Eaton. The Marvel Comics took this opportunity to advertise their romance as the wedding of the century. Their wedding was a union of beings from different walks of life, ranging from X-Men and Avengers teams to other Marvel superhero groups, such as the Fantastic Four and Inhumans. In fact, their wedding made so much noise that they even decided to pause an ongoing civil war that focused on the Superhuman Registration Act, and Captain America and Iron Man called for a ceasefire so that the superheroes could have a gala and attend the wedding in Wakanda. Their wedding also brought together several enemies, such as M'Baku, and distinguished ancient entities like the Watcher. While celebrations were in full swing, the bride received extraordinary attention and was even bestowed with the honor of being the first mutant queen. This title inspired Professor X, who also wished to give her a title, and he soon announced her to be the most important mutant in the world. All these instances helped Storm gain a reputation as the representative of both Wakanda and of mutant kind, and her leadership skills and diplomatic attitude toward mutant-human relationships further facilitated these new roles that came with the titles. Soon after the wedding and the honeymoon, Storm and T'Challa decided to go on a diplomatic world tour to places such as Atlantis and Latveria to assess their opponents and solidify their relationship and their allies. They continued to embark on several adventures as King and Queen of Wakanda, and they once even filled in for Sue and Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four team. As a part of this team, T'Challa and Storm went to the multiverse to face Galactus and save reality from being destroyed forever. While fans enjoyed their dynamic, their marriage took a rocky turn after being together for 6 years during the major Avengers vs. X-Men event. The couple found themselves at a loss for how to salvage their marriage, while also being on opposing teams. But let us have a look at this incident in detail. What led to T'Challa and Storm's divorce? During the events that took place in the Avengers vs. X-Men comics, written by Brian Michael Bendis, Adam Kubert, and others, several X-Men such as Cyclops, Namor, Magik, Colossus, and Emma Frost had been possessed by the evil Phoenix Force. The Force compelled them to act in ways that did not align with their beliefs, and they ended up committing several crimes to turn Utopia into Pax Utopia, a safe space for mutants. In the midst of this, Namor ended up flooding Wakanda, and the X-Men were then labeled as Wakanda's enemies due to the destruction they had caused. While Storm did not approve of Namor's attack nor sided with him, T'Challa viewed her as one of the X-Men responsible for destroying his country. Moreover, Storm could not bring herself to break her alliance with the X-Men, and the most she could offer was her help in rebuilding Wakanda. When she returned to Wakanda in the aftermath of the incident, her refusal to leave the X-Men broke T'Challa's heart, and he found himself in a position where he had to leave her out of loyalty to his nation. However, it was later revealed that they managed to remain good friends despite their divorce, and Storm eventually did help T'Challa rebuild Wakanda. Did Storm and Black Panther ever have a child together? While T'Challa and Storm did not have a child in the mainstream Marvel continuity, they did have a son together in an alternate reality, on Earth 555326. In this reality, Azari T'Challa was introduced as their son in the Avengers #1 comics in 2010, and it was revealed that he was a mutant who had inherited both his parents' abilities. While he had his father's speed, agility, and strength and endurance, he also had his mother's electrokinesis abilities, and he eventually picked up the mantle of the Black Panther amid Ultron's revolution in the Avengers comics. Perfect pair or mismatched heroes? Assessing the compatibility of Black Panther and Storm. While exploring their relationship, several fans pointed out that their romance was created out of a need to boost comic book sales, and that there were instances where they did not have strong chemistry. Some fans also believed that they barely had anything in common, and that their relationship lacked build-up. Despite all this, we adore Storm and T'Challa's relationship, and Marvel also made a few attempts to bring them together again. For instance, Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther comic included a few moments where the couple tried to reignite their spark, but recent story arcs have only distanced them, with very little scope for them to get back together. Moreover, the X of Swords event in 2020 further widened the gap between the two, as Storm ended up committing a grave crime against Wakanda by stealing the Skybreaker sword. She used the sacred sword to participate in a tournament, but ended up damaging it. When she finally returned it to Wakanda, she was not received warmly, and it was established that she was no longer welcome in her former in-laws' nation. Storm's relationship with Wakanda and T'Challa does not seem repairable anymore, and fans will only have to accept that they're done for good. However, this is just the case in a mainstream reality, and there may be alternate universes where Storm and T'Challa are happily married. Marvelous verdict. To wrap things up, we can certainly say that their romance garnered a lot of attention, and they had several fans rooting for them to have a happy ending. While they didn't end up together, they did make a bunch of wholesome memories together. We hope this video helped you gain some insight into their connection for as long as they managed to make it last. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!